And hello and welcome to another Xterra video where I work on my truck. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes I'm not. And on today's video is going to be another upgrade. It may be not really necessary, but it is necessary as well. And what I'm going to be working on, I'm going to be replacing my tire rods. So this is the tire rods that I installed. It's a factory tire rods when I did my Titan swap. There is nothing wrong with them at the moment, but this is a weak link on a truck. Whenever you go in off-roading, this sometimes breaks. So prevent that, there is a better option to install CGD tire wraps, but they're quite expensive, at least for me. But luckily I have good friends, and friends, they help each other. So I was helping my friend to wire up his truck for some new electric and redo a lot of electric, and as a thank you, what he did, he went ahead and he bought a CGD tire rods for me. So look at this, guys. This looks heavy duty stuff compared to that one. Look at this one. I hope you guys can see it. So that's what I'm planning and hoping to achieve today. I'm gonna lift up the truck, remove the tires, and I'm gonna try to remove the tire rods and replace it with new ones. They look a little bit different the way they're set up, so I still have to figure out how I'm gonna tie this in place. But I guess I just have to remove the bolt and just, I don't know, screw it in place. Anyways, and once I do that, I need to make sure I'm gonna try to do my alignment at home as well. So prior to removing the tire rods, I'm gonna lift up the truck, remove the tires. I'm gonna take the measurements from the tire to the frame on both sides, write it down, and then gonna try to recreate it and adjust it as best as I can. If needed later on, I will take it to alignment, but more likely, hopefully, I'm not gonna have to do that. So that's gonna be quite a project today. So let's start working on that. So now what I did first, I drove back and forth a couple of times to try to make sure that steering wheel is straight, and I moved it around over here, try to put it as straight as possible and relieve any pressure on it. So now, while the truck still has tires on, I'm gonna measure from the knuckle to the body frame over here to see how much measurements I have, and I'm gonna take that measurements down. So over here it's 16 and almost 1/8, and on the passenger side it's almost 16 and a quarter. So I'm gonna try to do the same measurements, and we'll see. Maybe I just have to take it for alignment later on. So now with the tires off, I'm taking all the measurements from the frame over here to the middle of the bolt over here, and on the driver's side I have, and to the middle of the bolt I have 16 and 1/16. So that's what I'm writing down over here. I mean, I will hopefully remember which numbers belongs to where. And on the passenger side I actually have 15 16. So it's not leveled already. I don't know, but I actually took my truck for alignment maybe 2 months ago, so I assumed it's aligned. So what I'm gonna do, just gonna try to recreate the same way as it is right now, and yeah, we'll see. If the steering wheel feels good, I'll leave it as it is. So now I'm gonna start disassembling this, and I'm gonna try to pull this out. Now I need to break this actually apart. I should have taken this apart first so I can try to remove the boot and pull the whole thing out. So let's put this back in the meantime. So now I'm gonna try to break this nut loose, which is a 24mm wrench. So let's see how hard it is. Oh, not too hard. Alright, gonna take this out slightly, few turns. Now I can take this out again, and now we can untwist this very easy. Now I'm gonna remove this boot. So now that the clamps are removed in the back and in the front, gonna work trying to slide it over. There we go, nice and easy. Wow, has a little bit of water in there and looked a little bit rusty as well. So now I'm gonna work with removing this. This could be easy, this could be hard, but to make my life easier this time around, I actually went ahead to AutoZone and I rented this tire rod removal tool. So let's see if this is gonna help me or not to remove it. Last time I just used a huge channel locks and I was able to break this loose, but I had none of this in the way. so I had leverage over here, but now since I have all of that and I don't feel like removing all of this, so let me see what I can use here, which size it is. Hopefully they have my size. And of course they don't have the right size, so the only two sizes that I have is this 1 3/8, which kind of fits but very tight, like extremely tight, or this one which is 1 inch and 7/8, but this one feels kind of a little bit too loose. So I'm gonna try to remove it with this one, 1 3/8. Hopefully it's gonna do the trick. All right, and then we just simply put this over, something like that, and lock this in place. And now with a breaker bar, hopefully I can take this off. Let's see if we have some magic over here. Yeah, that was easy. That was too easy. I remember when I was removing them, when I had my stock ones in there, I was fighting removing them, but I guess this because it's new. Now to secure this part over here, you actually have to disassemble the link in the back, and there is a big hex head over here that you have to use that to secure it in place, otherwise you're not going to be able to make it tight. So now I'm just going to start it by hand, screwing it in there.
A few moments later.
Actually I had to do a quick run to AutoZone to pick up some tools, because to screw this in place you need actually a 11mm hex bit, which I did not have, so I had to buy the whole set. They didn't have it just by itself, so yeah, make sure you have a 11mm hex before you start this. But anyways, now let's start screwing this in place. I'm gonna try to make it as tight as possible. Alright, that feels good. Lately I've been doing it by feel, not by torque, but I feel like the more you work on a truck, eventually you kind of develop a feeling what feels good. Like some people say, German torque specs, good and tight. So now I can put this part in place, and let's put the bolt inside there. So the bolt is tight. Now I wish I was able to put this bolt from top bottom, just in case it ever comes loose, it's not gonna fall down and I'm not gonna have any seating, but hopefully that's never gonna happen. But now what I'm actually gonna do, I'm gonna put some grease over here. I don't know, it might not be necessary. Not too sure if this is even greasable or not, so gonna do that now. Let's put this part in, and as you notice, it actually goes counterclockwise. That's how you screw this one in place. So I'm gonna drive it almost all the way in. Alright, something like that. Okay, now I gotta fight with this nut, the way it sticks out like this, and I gotta put a boot over this, hopefully without ripping the boot, something like that. So now I can have the boot in here, so whenever I finish all my adjustments, I have to fight with it and slide it over. Now let's put this in place, and once again I'm gonna grease all of this ball joint over here. I don't know if it's a good design that it's all exposed, but I guess it is what it is. Hopefully I'm not making a mistake by greasing this, but it shouldn't. Alright, so now I'm gonna start playing with adjustments, putting it in here, and start adjusting all of this over here. I do wish there was a hole in here so I can put a pin. If this nut ever comes loose, the pin will hold it, but hopefully it's not gonna get loose. And as I understand, this is a special nut that when you tighten it in, it locks it in place, so hopefully it's never gonna come loose. So now I'm gonna start spending some time and start measuring this in order for me to get a 16" and 1/16 over here. So gonna start adjusting all of this, and yeah. So now with a 27mm key, simply gonna twist this, that way it's gonna give me more space over here and over here, And I'm gonna keep checking my measurements over here until I get the right size, until I get the right length over here and on the other side as well. And this looks pretty good over here right now. So now I'm gonna double check the other side. And another note, make sure that you have about the same distance over here and over here. Over here it's the thread length is 1.5 inches. On this side it's almost 2 inches. So originally you can give a little bit more threads over here than here. But yeah, it's looking good so far. So I'm doing the passenger side now, and I actually realized on the other side I installed this incorrectly. This is like that, so it might interfere with something. I believe it's supposed to be like that. That way it can go up and down easier.
Much later.
Hey guys, it's actually me from the future, and I'm disassembling this all over again because I failed to put the thread locker on this part over here that gets screwed on there. Maybe it's not necessary, but I feel like it should, and it's kind of recommended. So I'm gonna put a blue thread locker. Not gonna use a red one because then it might be too much, but the blue thread locker should be sufficient. So I'm gonna apply the blue thread locker on this bolt and tie it up as crazy as I can, and yeah, hopefully it's gonna be good then. And that should be much better, and it's gonna give me peace of mind. So now I'm gonna try to do my alignment. So what I'm using is 2 metal brackets, and I'm just holding it like that to the rotors. Hopefully the rotors are sitting straight, but they should. I checked them. So now I'm gonna try to do all the adjustments. As you can see over here I'm at 67. In the back I'm well over 68. So now I'm gonna try to move it, start adjustment, so I have exactly the same reading on both sides. Alright, and so after many adjustments both sides, I think I got it right. So on the front I have 67 and half, kind of half, and the same in the back, 67 and a half, between the half and the next one over. So I think I got it right, hopefully. And looking from the side, it also looks straight, this side and this side. So now I have to carefully tighten up this lug nuts over here so it doesn't move anymore, and put the boot in place. And right now it's actually fighting with the boot, trying to put it in place over there, but it's so tight there is no room to kind of pull it apart, to put it on. It's very tight. But what I actually did, I know there's probably a tutorial on that, and something, it's just me living under the rock, I didn't know about it. So what I did, this probably not gonna work on this boot, but basically this last lip all the way at the end of there, I pulled it all the way around like that, drove it, put it next to the place where it has to go, and then I just walked it off back and it just snapped in place. Very nice and easy. So just something I wanted to share with you guys. So now this all in place, I'm just gonna put a strap over here, a strap in the back, even though it sits very tight. So anyways, but I'm gonna put a strap just to be on the safe side. Alright guys, we successfully upgraded our tire rods, so now we have a full length CJD tire rods. Not only they're supposed to be stronger, but they also look cooler. So I took the truck for a test drive and the steering felt great. I did not feel the steering wheel didn't go to the sides or anything, so I think I actually did a decent job aligning my tires, so that's good as well. Once again, big thank you for my friend for giving those to me. I'm really grateful for that. So I guess another project successfully done. Hopefully nothing comes loose, hopefully nothing breaks over time. The only thing is kinda a trade-off for these ones. Unlike the factory ones, this has a sealed boot, so it's greasable, but on those it's kinda exposed. But I guess there is a trade-off for everything. But I mean, everybody's using those, they seems to be, and people seems to like those, so I guess it's good. These ones I'm not gonna throw away, I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna keep them as a spare for the trail. You never know who's gonna need them or what's gonna happen, so it's always good to have some spare parts. So on this note, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you might find it helpful, and as always, until next time, everybody, bye.